Hello and welcome to my channel. I know you're hearing my voice for the first time, but because this video was too long to put text, I decided to go for a voiceover instead. I hope my voice doesn't sound too hoarse because I'm using my phone recorder. This video is going to consist of 6 tips, and I have provided timestamps down below for every topic in the description box in case you want to skip to a particular point you're interested in, because we all are busy people. So let's get started. Number 1. Organization is the key. I know that you have probably heard this a million times before, but this really is the most crucial step and I cannot stress this enough. Write down every task that needs to be done along with the deadline, be it related to school, household, self-care, shopping, etc. Write them down on a piece of paper right at the second you get them. It doesn't matter how small and insignificant of a task it is, storing them at one place, which isn't our unreliable mind, really helps keep our thoughts on track and not floating around our brain and hitting the skull at random moments like a Windows screensaver. If you have a digital planning system, that works wonders too. Now, if you're a neatness freak, like me, divide all the tasks into the respective categories and form a to-do list. My ideal to-do list looks somewhat like this, where I draw circles beside my tasks and strike them out when done. Another effective way to organize all your tasks is to use Google Excel sheets, but these work better for long-term things which don't need to get done right at the moment. For every subject, every chapter or topic of every subject, write the sources you are going to study it from in the horizontal column and the topics in the vertical column. Use colors green, yellow and red to indicate the level of familiarity. I actually got the idea of using Excel sheets from YouTuber Ali Abdal in his video. Moving on, this brings us to step number 2, planning. Plan your tasks in order of priority. Remember the list of tasks I told you to jot down with the deadline? Yes, use that. Also, I'd recommend planning over a longer period of time for the same set of tasks than you usually would. For example, if you require 2 hours to do a task, give yourself at least 2.5 hours to do it in your list. The reason being which that as students who can't focus for long periods of time or have a lack of concentration, our minds are likely to wander off to another dimension while studying, causing us to panic, which just messes everything up and leaves us feeling demotivated. Moreover, it makes up for the loss of time if things take longer than planned. I would also space out my working time into short bursts of 40 to 50 minutes each instead of 3 to 4 long hours of grinding, to keep the energy juices flowing. Also, allow some extra time for writing assignments which include stuff like proofreading or editing. And do not overschedule. Only you know what works best for you and what you are capable of doing within a limited period of time. Next up is step number 3, starting. For a lot of us, this is the part which we have the most difficulty doing. We plan our whole day or even week but never really get around completing it. The most commonly known trick to get started is to sit at your desk and do a particular task for 5 minutes, and after that we will automatically want to study more. But how do we even push ourselves to start for 5 minutes? My best answer to this would be to just start reading a book or playing a brain game if I'm on my phone. This really primes or prepares your brain for all the work that's about to come and also gets you in the flow. This way, it is much easier to switch from reading books to completing one task to completing all the tasks. On the other hand, there is a common notion which tells us to begin with the hardest task first and then proceed on to the relatively easier ones. But this doesn't work for me. Completing the hard tasks takes a lot more time and brain power, which gives me severe headache right at the beginning and leaves me too demotivated to work any further. I prefer starting with the easiest tasks first, like checking my email or correcting a self-test paper, scoping up some chapters, taking online notes, etc. Getting at least something checked off my list gives me the motivation to keep working further. But if you are someone who only has a hard task or one single huge task, I'd suggest breaking it up into very small chunks. For example, if you're working on a school project, break it up into parts like research, organization, writing, and rechecking, and then divide research into 4 sub-parts like compiling all the sources, highlighting all the important points, and etc. This way, you will be more organized and motivated to actually start working. Now this brings us to step number 4, environment and surroundings. A clean and organized space equals a clean and organized mind. Clean your room, your bed, the floor, study table, and organize the books on your shelves. Your tabletop should only have the necessary equipments like your computer, books, and copies of the subject you're about to start, a water bottle to keep you hydrated, and a pencil bag. Trust me when I say this. An untidy space distracts me more than anything could. My attention is constantly shifting back and forth from my work to a random pen with a missing cap lying on the far corner of my bed. This causes me to lose my focus and hence my flow. So please, do yourself a favor and take some extra few minutes to clean your room. This brings us to step number 5, dealing with your fleeting mind. There are many ways to go on about this point. The one which worked the best for me is to keep a small notebook to keep track of my thoughts. Whenever I'm studying and a thought pops up in my head like, did dinosaurs have hair? And I get the sudden urge to Google it, which would then lead me to spend hours on there, I just write it down on my notebook, somewhat like this, and be sure to check it out later in the day. Moreover, I have serious love-hate relationship with the popular Pomodoro method because sometimes it helps and the other time completely messes everything up. If you are not familiar with it, the Pomodoro method is a famous study technique where you focus on your work for 25 minutes straight and then take a break of 5 minutes, modifications being allowed, of course. But this doesn't work for me because once I take a break, not because I want to, but because a routine is telling me to, getting back at work is very hard. But you can use it all you want if it works well for you. But I work for as long as I feel like I'll die if I don't take a small break, be it every 15 minutes or 3 hours. This brings us to the last step, or step number 6, which is utilizing your hyperactivity. Now this is a step which is more focused for people with ADHD or something like that. In ADHD, with the curse called lack of focus, comes a gift called hyperactivity. I'm sure you're aware of it. Hyperfocus tends to make us overly excited to do one particular task, often pretty irrelevant. What I'm saying is, we can actually use it to be productive. For example, if you're overly focused on YouTube, why not watch some educational videos instead of binge watching PewDiePie? I mean, you get it? Lastly, it is important to note that you can't get rid of your lack of focus or restlessness overnight, but with these tips, the process can be a bit lighter on us and less stressful, but only on one condition: you actually follow them. I know it is hard to start trying to get your life together all at once, but we gotta start somewhere, right? I could give you all the tips in the world and they could get you focused for like 1 hour, but hey, we're looking for more long-term answers, right? Lastly, these were some general tips to help you be productive when you need to be, but some days are really unproductive and that's okay. It's only natural to be lazy. You only live once anyway. With that being said, we are at the end of our video. If you're watching this, that means you stuck with me till the end and I can't thank you enough for that. I hope I could help you in some way. Good luck for all your pending work. And lastly, like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye.